All right, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this vast world it is that you may or may not happen to be. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers live, page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. So today we're going to go into the second book of Kings, chapter 7. On a personal note, I'm doing well. I did take a few days off from this project, but I needed to. Um, Overall, I'm doing well. I did release a new music video in the genre of synthwave music. You all can check that out on this channel. And today I'm just going to work, and that's pretty much it. I have a new track that I'm working on, but I'm taking my time with it. I'm just glad to have released the most recent track because I feel like that's going to set the tone for the rest of the year when it comes to my musical stylings. And I'm just glad that I'm able to um, get back into the Bible reading today. Now, this reading kind of picks up from chapter 6. Chapter 6 ended with a section titled Ben-Hadad besieges Samaria. So this is a continuation of that over here in chapter 7. So let's go ahead and get started. Then Elisha said, "Hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, tomorrow about this time 1 measure of fine flour will be sold for 1 shekel, and 2 measures of barley for 1 shekel at the gate of Samaria." Then an officer on whose hand the king learned answered the man of God, "If the Lord were to make windows in heaven, could this thing happen?" And he said, "You will see it with your eyes, but you will not eat from it." Now we're going into a section called The Arameans Flee. There were 4 leprous men at the entry of the gate, and they said to one another, "Why are we sitting here until we die? If we say, 'Let us enter the city,' the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. But if we sit here, we die also. Now come, let us fall into the camp of the Arameans. If they spare our lives, we will live, and if they kill us, we will die." So they rose at twilight to enter the camp of the Arameans. When they came to the edge of the camp of the Arameans, behold, there was no one there, for the Lord had caused the Aramean camp to hear the sound of the chariots, horses, even the sound of a large army, so that they said to one another, "Behold, the king of Israel has hired the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come against us." So they got up and ran away in the twilight and abandoned their tents, their horses, and their donkeys. The camp remained just as it was, and they ran for their lives. When these leprous men came to the edge of the camp, they went into one tent. They ate and drank, carried off silver, gold, and clothes, and went and hid them. Then they went back, entered another tent, and carried off things from there and went and hid them. Then they said to one another, "We are not doing right today. This is a day of good news. If we are silent and wait until the morning light, we will be found guilty. Let us go now and enter the city and tell the king's household." So they went and called to the gatekeepers of the city, and they told them, "We came to the camp of the Arameans, and behold, there was no one there, and there was no sound of a man's voice, only horses tied, donkeys tied, and the tents as they were." Then the gatekeepers came out and told the king's household inside. Did I read that right? Then the gatekeepers called out and told the king's household inside. The king got up in the night and said to his servants, "I will show you what the Arameans have done to us. They know that we are starving, so they left the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, When they come out of the city, we will capture them alive and get into the city." One of the servants answered, "Let some men take 5 of the remaining horses, since those remaining will suffer the fate of the whole multitude of Israel and have perished already. So let us send them and see." So they took 2 chariots with horses, and the king sent them after the army of the Arameans, saying, "Go and see." So they went after them to the Jordan, and behold, the whole way was full of clothes and vessels, which the Arameans had thrown away in their haste. Then the messengers returned and told the king. Then the people went out and looted the camp of the Arameans. So 1 measure of fine flour was sold for 1 shekel, and 2 measures of barley for 1 shekel, according to the word of the Lord. The king had appointed the officer on whose hand he leaned to have charge over the gate, and the people trampled him in the gate, and he died, just as the man of God had said when the king came down to him. The man of God had spoken to the king, saying, Two seahs of barley shall be sold for 1 shekel, and 1 seah of fine flour for 1 shekel. About this time tomorrow at the gate of Samaria. The officer had answered the man of God, "If the Lord should make windows in heaven, could such a thing happen?" And he had said, "You shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it." So it happened to him, for the people trampled him in the gate, and he died. I guess I didn't have much commentary for this particular chapter. Those Arameans are something else. Anyways, I hope all of you out there have a good day. I'm taking a lot of time right now to reevaluate certain things in my life. And I've been in a little bit of a down mood, but not too down, just contemplative. So as I go through the process of reevaluating certain things, I'm sure that I'll successfully let certain things go. But I'll tell you, moving forward, I'm going to be just incredibly selective with who I connect with, who I allow in my life, and whatnot. Because it's definitely a treacherous world out there. And you got to watch out for people who want to drain you of your resources. On a side note, those of you who listen to me for the right reasons, send some positive prayers, positive thoughts, positive vibes to a man named Thomas Oakes. He fell into substance abuse many years ago, and I do feel that he's tried to rectify that poor choice, but the way that these illegal substances are manufactured nowadays, I've been doing a lot of research on it. It's incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for people to attain sobriety once they become addicted to these substances. And it's wrong. Whoever is creating these substances has a real problem. And I do view it as a form of chemical warfare against the United States of America. And the issue is not being addressed as it should be. Not nowadays. So that's about it. Everyone take care. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.